The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency is setting booby traps for the economy as the last half-term of the Obama presidency lumbers into view. 3 regulations in various stages of development will make energy costs explode. Under one of them, the Tier 3 gasoline regulation finalized in March, refiners must cut sulfur content to 10 parts per million from 30 parts per million. American fuel and petrochemical manufacturers says the move will impose costs comparable to those of the Tier 2 program begun in 2006, which cut sulfur 15 times as much but have far less environmental benefit. The new sulfur limits and accompanying tailpipe and evaporative emission standards will be phased in during 2017 through 2025. Related to Tier 3 is an imminent proposal by EPA to lower the allowed concentration of ground-level ozone to 60 to 70 parts per billion from 75 parts per billion, the standard in place since 2008. When the agency proposed a 70 part per billion standard 3 years ago, the White House Office of Management and Budget quashed it in response to opposition from business groups. In an indication that a reproposal is imminent, EPA recently sent the regulation back to OMB for review. EPA justifies its Tier 3 initiative partly on the program's role in ozone mitigation. The agency further proposes to require electric power plants to cut emissions of greenhouse gas by a national average of 25% from 2005 levels by 2020 and by 30% by 2025. Required cuts vary by state. The power industry thinks costs of the Clean Power Plan, as it's called, would be much higher than EPA's estimate of $8.8 billion per year. Estimates of regulatory costs by the regulated industries routinely exceed those by EPA, of course, and EPA routinely adduces estimates for the value of associated health benefits that are, just as routinely, questionable. Except for the power plant initiative, which would become effective in mid-2015, the cost of these moves won't be evident before a successor administration is in place. Voters, though, should know about them when they elect senators and representatives next month. I'm Bob Tippie, editor of Oil and Gas Journal, and that's the editor's perspective that appeared first in text at www.ogj.com on October 17, 2014.